Good morning. So, I don't know about you, but my hindsight is so much better than my foresight. I can look back and say, I should have done this, I should have done that. So, today, I'm going to talk about, I feel, mistakes I made, decisions I made that I wished I hadn't. First thing I want to say is, before I ever did this for a year, at least a year, maybe 2 years, I watched every video I could watch. Mainly it was cheap RV living Bob Wells, to see how other people lived, what they did. So I really thought I knew what I was doing. Really, really did. And I was so solid in how I was going to do this and what I was going to do. And I was so innocent in my thought process about this lifestyle. So, let's talk about 5 different things that I wished I would have done if I had had the money. I mean, depends on money too. When I first started. The first thing I wished I would have done, and I think one of the most important things, is air ventilation. I really didn't realize how much the outside temperature would affect the inside temperature. I did not have a clue about the climate and being in the elements and how it would affect this van. So, I made the decision purposely not to put in a max fan or one of the fans in the ceilings. Number one, it was quite expensive. You always look at the expense. And number two, I didn't think it was necessary. I was totally wrong. I only have 2 windows in this van. That's it. If I had more windows, it might make a difference, but I don't think so. I think that the fan is really, really necessary for controlling the temperature in your van. Number one, it gets so hot in here if it's sitting out in the sun. And there's no place, so you turn on your air conditioner, there's no place for the hot air to go. The max air fan, or whichever fan you want, I think there's another one too, whatever kind of fan you want can pull out the hot air, making it much more comfortable. Maybe you wouldn't need an air conditioner if you had that fan in the ceiling. Now, part of that decision was I was afraid of putting a hole in. 4 years later, I still have a hole. The only hole I put in, it still leaks every winter. And someone, I think it was Bob, told me to use Henry's. I've tried everything but Henry's, so I was afraid of a hole. I was afraid of leaks, and I didn't want to introduce that. Now, I did have room for it up there, and I could have put solar panels around it. I just chose not to do it, and it wasn't a bad decision. It was a decision I didn't understand. I really did not understand what it's like in a van. I did find out, after 5 years, I know. Would I put one in now? I'm thinking about it. I would have to change everything on my roof, and it's very difficult to do. Getting that tape off, it's a nightmare. I mean, removing anything off that. So, it is a thought process, but I'm hoping to find something this year. So, let's go on to the next thing. I would have saved myself a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of money if I had chosen better on my layout. I must have done 20 layouts. Again, the layout is pretty important. I've changed mine 20, 30, 40 times. Who knows how many times. I started out with plastic drawers. The condensation was ridiculous inside the drawers. I got rid of that. I tried out plastic bins, stacking them up, and then, tying things to the main frame with zip cords or bungee cords, zip ties or bungee cords. Really have to think about your layout and what you're actually using, and if it's strong enough for the vibration and the movement and hitting bumps and hitting curbs and just the driving, how hard it is on everything inside. I wished if I had thought, I probably would have hired someone to do it for me. I was not the best. I did anchor everything to the van frame, so I did okay, but everything just, even a shelving unit was falling apart. I have a drawer set that's falling apart. I need to reinforce it for the vibration of the van. So my layout was very poor in the beginning, even though I was so proud of it. Where I put my bed was really important. I didn't want to put it in the back end, whatever the reason. I wanted to be different. I wanted it in the front end. Bad mistake. As you've heard that story. First night it fell apart at midnight. Anyway, so your layout, really need to walk through it. This is where trying it out, going for a week in your van, in your layout that you're building, is so important. If you do that, you'll find the flaws. I found the flaws once I moved into the van and started rolling around, And to this day, I still have things constantly falling. I cannot get everything secure. Things that never fall, all of a sudden will fall, even though I've got them tied or whatever, for a certain way. If I hit a certain bump, I hit a certain hole. It's always, things are always seem to be falling. So the layout would be a lot different for me. That would be the first thing. The second thing. The third thing, and I don't know, I'm still a little question about this, is the height. I don't need to stand, but since I've been sick, I do go outside, I stand outside. You're supposed to not be living in your van, but if you park at Walmart parking lots or on the streets, you're in your van. You're not outside. When I'm in the desert, I'm outside most of the time. But when I'm living in the city, I'm inside my van. And the height is not so much because I can stand. It's that it's a better way to cook. You can stand up cooking like you used to instead of sitting down and cooking. Totally different way of cooking. You have a little bit more room. So standing and sitting, now, I couldn't afford. I've looked at the prices on those high top vans. I can't afford one. It's never going to happen unless I win the lottery. So I started looking. I even looked this morning, because I thought, well, and yeah, 180,000, 214,000, 119,000. My goodness, no, I can't afford anything like that. But if I had the money, if I was given the option, I would probably go to a high top. If I had the money and the option. That's just very limited. So you do have to think about how important it is for you to stand up. In the city, if you're always in your van, standing up is a better way to go. If you can. Again, they're very expensive. And they do depreciate. There's only certain ones that keep their value. So this is something, do you want to pay that much money for something that is it's just not going to appreciate? It's not a good asset for you. Just a thought. If I had an animal at the beginning, I did have a cat, but she didn't last but a week. I would have done differently for my animal. I would have, and of course a lot of things have progressed. So when you look back, a dual refrigerator. I would have gotten that first. I paid $400 for, I think it was a set power, just refrigerator. It was big, it was bulky, it was heavy. I couldn't move it. It just was always in the way. So I would really think about my refrigeration closer. If I was a vegetarian, that would be different, but I'm not a vegetarian. And I worry about the food. So I do freeze a lot. Now, I think that a dehydrator, and you can use one in a van, some of them collapse pretty small, a dehydrated food would be a really good way to go. But I didn't have a dehydrator. I didn't have the room. It's all about room and space and what do you really need. I focused mainly on solar, and I needed lighting. I wanted fans. I wanted things that I needed electricity. So I think I wished I would have looked at, I did look at all the refrigerators. Now we have so many more options and such better refrigerators for van life. They've really improved it. I would really look at an IceCo. I loved the IceCo that I got, that I talked about, but it was too small. Jason loved it too. I would get a very large IceCo. The metal ones that clip and lock. The sealing of them is, how they seal. I have a okay refrigerator. It's a dual, but the plastic handle broke off of it within the first 3 months. It still closes, but it doesn't lock and seal. And I keep things on top of it to keep it closed. So that, again, my refrigeration would be a big thing to consider as I move into a van. Like I said, I spent almost $400 on a fridge that I really didn't like the whole time I had it. And I gave it to someone else. And they didn't have a fridge, so they're very grateful for it. I paid a lot of money for it and really disliked it. So everybody is different. And the fifth and final thing that I wished I could have done, I really wished that I could have considered and been able to afford. And again, I don't know. I had a certain budget when I started, and I went through it. And it was mainly for solar. I wished I would have a front and back basket of some sort that is attached and had a permanent large propane canister and had someone fix it so that the lines would either from the back or the front, probably from the back, would lead into a propane stove. That's such a much cheaper way to go. I didn't think about a basket on the back and the front. I would put one on the front as well. I don't have one. I have to save up for it. It's like $300 just to put the tow bar on, because mine, you have to attach it to the frame. You can't attach it to the bumpers. So you have to do the frame. Mine's a little bit more expensive to put on, and then the basket's like $100, and you have to put that together. I would have done that if I had known. I really didn't have a lot of money. I was on a budget. It makes a huge difference. I have the garden on the back. If I had a front one, I would probably have the propane in the back with the garden, and then I would have totes in the front of extra supplies, tools, things like that. But I didn't. So as I said, hindsight is so much better than foresight. Looking forward to what might happen. This is an unknown. As many videos as you watch, you're still not going to do it right. You think you will. You'll change. It's a continuous change inside, trying to make it more comfortable, more convenient, carry more things, because you live in a very tiny space. I hope this has helped someone who's thinking about starting out new. Next video, I'm going to talk about the things I still have from the very first day to now. And I don't have much. Everything's changed. I thank you for watching. Please, please like, make a comment, share this, and if you want to and you enjoy my content, subscribe. I'll see you next time.